Ref, are we kicking off at 10? 5 past.
Welcome back to Matchday Live with our first show of 2023, featuring MMU taking on Leeds Beckett's second team in the quarterfinals in a men's futsal Northern Conference Cup. Commentary team for today's game is myself, Ed Tucker, and my partner Benji Galab. How you doing, Benji, and what are you thinking before today's game?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a real challenge for MMU this time. I mean, they're in the quarterfinals. It's not going to be a pushover, but we haven't seen them really be challenged, have we?
No, I think this is the first game in the Cup they've played against a team in their own league as well. So it should be good to see them play against a team that are maybe a bit more matched up with them. To be honest, this sounds a bit weird coming from an MMU student, but I'd like this to be tight to the last minute if possible. If there could be a goal in the last 10 seconds that actually decides it, I think it'd be a bit more interesting, because the last few I think have been basically finished before the second half even begins. So hoping for a little bit of a tighter game today, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll just do a quick run through of the teams before they kick off here, if we can, quickly enough. So the MMU team is James Kay, Kieran Williams, Sam Cook, Scott Froggatt and Ollie Baker. And do you want to just give me the Leeds team quickly?
Yeah, so Leeds, in net they have Pinnock. In defence they have Gibson, Johnson, Hood and Howard up front for them.
So just about to kick off here.
There's kickoff for the quarter-final now of the Bucs National Cup game.
Yeah, MMU pretty keen to get into the final of this one. We were talking to the lads earlier. Could be into a big arena as well if they get there.
I mean, already starting off, Leeds have started with this high press. I mean, before the game we spoke to the manager and he was just saying it depends on what the opponents do first. And straight away they've just high pressed and they've gone straight to the fly keeper MMU here.
Yeah, Leeds Beckett was saying they don't really play with the fly keeper unless it's absolutely necessary. Ooh, big strike there, early doors from Sam Cook. Yeah, they don't like playing with the fly keeper, Leeds Beckett, and you do try and get it in as much as possible, so that should be interesting to see how that comes off for both teams in today's game. Ooh, getting stuck in early doors, 2v2, Kieran Williams there. Johnson for Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, Leeds, we spoke to the manager before the game and he told us that defend high or defend deep, it's fine whichever. They're very adaptable, they're a very adaptable team. And we're hoping that can, well, coming from an MMU student, we're hoping that it can trouble MMU a little bit and give them a tougher challenge.
Yeah, I think the games so far we've seen have been a little bit too not easy for MMU. It's harsh on the other teams, but they've clearly been the better team in both the games, so they definitely should be a better matchup. And it's interesting really because they've got Leeds Beckett in the league next weekend, so I think MMU will be hoping for a double, and maybe Leeds Beckett be hoping to put some trouble into them, get them concerned for that game as well.
Yeah, I mean, in a league game, if you lose, you're still in the league, but if you lose this, you're out of the cup. So both teams are coming into this game with everything that they have.
Yeah, it was interesting. The Leeds Beckett manager was saying that they've definitely got people locked into position a little bit more than the MMU team have, wasn't it? Gibson always kind of stays back in the defence, and Hood's always their pivot, whereas MMU's team seems to be quite happy to vary whichever way they feel like at the time. So that might pay off for them today as well if they can just keep mixing up their team and using up that subs bench. Once again, MMU have more subs than the away team, so in a game of futsal where fitness is so crucial, that could definitely come into play late on.
Yeah, we've seen that happen in both of the previous games where both of the teams, they came down with just one or two subs. This time they have a bit more than that. They have quite a few on the bench, so maybe it won't be as pinnacle and as critical as we thought it would.
And then you trying to be a little bit too clever there from the kick in, just ended up rolling back out. A little bit of miscommunication there between Kieran Williams and I think Sam Cook, or maybe Scott Froggatt over there. No, Froggatt it was.
MMU do seem a bit more frantic in the plays that they're doing. They're not seeming too calm in possession like we're used to seeing, but could just be early jitters. First game of the year for them.
Yeah, they haven't had 2 training sessions again since Christmas, so and I'm sure it's the same for Leeds Beckett here, but could be a little bit rusty early doors. But actually, in fairness, MMU have struggled against the game. But oh my God, what a goal that is! Scott Froggatt, number 10, there with an absolute pearl of a little chip from close range as well. That puts MMU 1-0 up, a minute 30 into the game.
Yeah, it seems to be perfect precision touch there. The control to bring that ball down and then chip it over the keeper in such a small area. Just pinpoint accuracy.
A little chip up, a little knee touch as well. Right knee touch, left foot chip, lovely goal. But yeah, what I was going to say is actually we've seen MMU concede early doors in some of their halves. I remember one of their games, I think they won 7-2, I think it was their first game, or 11-2. And I think they conceded their first goal in both halves of that game.
Yeah, they did.
And then kind of got into it. My point was going to be that actually MMU can start the halves a little bit slowly, but they've just proved me wrong instantly and gone 1-0 up in a minute and a half. But number 14 there, Ollie Baker, has just limped off at MMU. That would not be good for them. He actually scored 4 goals in their last game, so they definitely don't want to risk him not being able to play.
Yeah, I think that's another positive about futsal, where substitutions, it's just come and go. As soon as he's ready to be back on the court, they'll bring him on.
Yeah, I think Jamie Villarreal, their number 22, has come off.
Oh, that's a beautiful
what a goal
finish
there. Lovely from Leeds Beckett. I mean, he's chopped back and managed to finesse it right across the goal. Maybe well happy with himself there.
He's unlucky a little bit there, but in no way did you think the shot was coming from this angle.
No, he's caught us a little touch there from the way with the right, and he's just managed to bend it.
Side netting.
Not sure if number 13 there for Hood took a touch for Leeds there, if it was just straight in. He seemed to put his hand up, but I'm not sure if that was just celebration of the goal generally. That is 1-1.
Leeds definitely do have some firepower that MMU aren't used to seeing.
A couple of fouls here as well early doors. You've not really seen fouls in the other games, maybe 1 or 2, and we've seen 2 straight away here in the first couple of minutes, so definitely a feistier game than we've been used to seeing.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a physical battle, these two teams, and I just wanted to point out as well, if you do look at the Leeds Beckett bench, they actually have 2 managers. So the manager we spoke to is the manager of the first team, and the manager in front of him is the manager of the second team, so he's got a bit more experience behind him this game. They must be pulling out all the big stops.
Yeah, he was saying as well that some of the second team lads here for Leeds Beckett had actually played a few minutes for the first team to kind of warm them up again.
He's taking a shot from halfway line.
Just because this Tier 2 league for the futsal is not very consistent. They've had a few games called off here and there as well, so I think both teams only played about 4 games, 2 in the cup and 2 in the league.
MMU are looking to make some changes here. I think they're looking to bring on Mark Osofua and Chingwei, if I'm right. And I think this is just looking for a bit more firepower. Because even though it is even right now, I think they do want to take the lead. And they can definitely do that with these 2 players that they're trying to bring on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how MMU react to actually being in a lot of a tighter game, because it's not really what we've seen from them.
It's a great save.
You know, they've, apart from occasions where they've maybe been 1-0, they've kind of end up being 3-1, 4-1, or 2 or 3 goals ahead for large amounts of the game. So hopefully if this one holds a little bit tighter, it'll be interesting to see how they react to that.
Oh, it has to be perfect. Perfect link-up play there with Jamie Villarreal. Just see them run through. It's a bad corner here from Leeds, but it's great link-up play.
Jamie Villarreal picks up there.
One-touch football.
Williams taking a shot. Well, Jamie Villarreal, a little 2-1, and it is 2-1.
We've got MMU have made the changes now. Chingwei and Mark Osuafua have come onto the court. But I think they're looking to extend their lead.
Yeah, I mean, you'd definitely be happy to be back in the lead again. But Leeds are looking good as well. They have caused a lot of pressure on MU, and it's just a speed of the game.
Oh, that he's just doesn't count. The referee wasn't happy with it. He absolutely laced that ball into the top of the net.
Yeah, not sure what he wasn't happy with there, but
maybe the ball went out of play.
Jamie Villarreal, I'm sure he'll be thinking he should have had a goal there again.
But if you've watched our previous streams and you've been tuned in, you've noticed that at the beginning we always say, oh, this game, it's not looking to be as many goals as usual. But this game already is 2-1 and we're about 3-4 minutes in. This could be a high scoring game. It might be a record here at Matchday Live.
Yeah, what was our highest so far? We had a 12-5 was the highest we saw against UA 92 in the first round of this cup competition. I mean, the other one was 11-2, so they've not exactly been low scoring either of them. But
no, definitely not. But they don't start off as high pressure as this game.
No, yeah, this has definitely been a slightly different gear than what we've been seeing. As Marcos Urfu is getting some of his first touches in.
Well, you can put that down to the fact that they're actually in the same league.
Yeah, a little bit more evenly matched.
Be a nice challenge for the team here. And
well kept in there as well by Villarreal. Marcos Urfu tries a little roulette turn, doesn't quite get away with it. Leeds get the ball.
Football.
There seems to be a bit of confusion there about whose ball it is, and it's dropped to MMU. Chingwei.
Oh, he's hit the post.
Laid off Jamie Villarreal really nicely, and he's just smashed that top corner of the goal.
Sheffield have made some changes here. They've brought on Nunes, number 5.
Yeah, there's a few number 5s for Leeds, which makes it nice and easy for us. Well picked up there by Chingwei. A little bit of a misplaced pass from Leeds.
Here's Jake Barnes.
Loves those little ball rolls, Jake Barnes, in fairness to him. Did he score in that last game? No, maybe not.
Jake Barnes definitely did. I do remember that, but he was injured actually in the first game. And he came back for the second game and impressed us here at Matchday Live, so we're hoping for the same performance this time. It's a nice little link-up play that they just tried there, but defender read it perfectly and got the ball out.
Leeds getting under a little bit of pressure as a few misplaced passes causing them a bit of trouble.
Side net in there from Chingwei, but Mark Osofua showing his close dribbling.
Oh, Nunes there with an amazing run. What a save from James Kay. Be very happy with himself after that.
That was good trigger discipline there from Nunes. He kind of just did a few fake shots, a few ball rolls to try and find the perfect timing, but he just couldn't get it perfect.
Yeah, I thought he had for a second and not quite. See MMU trying to use that fly keeper now, trying to get that extra man outfield. Trying to help hold the possession.
Yeah, you definitely can see the additives for playing flag keeper because it can create chances like that.
What a bit of play there. Long pass. I think that was Marcos Aful, wasn't it? Over to Chingwei, number 20, and then finished off.
Perfect. He gave a little celebration there to the camera.
17 there, Jay Bonds. He actually starts to play. He rolls it off to Osofua.
He keeps
plays a long ball. Yeah, never gives up. Chingwei sees where he's going. It's a finish.
That all came from Jake Barnes. And I did say it was very impressive last game, and he's carried it on this time. Man Met, they're coming out and they're looking a little bit different this time. I don't remember them doing so many cheeky flicks and passes. Normally it's quite straightforward balls where you pass it and you know what to expect, but we're seeing a lot of flicks and turns and skills this time.
Yeah, I feel like the new team's getting better and better. They that second game in the cup, they had that lovely goal from the corner where they flicked up and volleyed it in top corner as well. And I think in that game they were definitely trying a little bit more of the flair stuff. So, maybe just as they're playing together more, and I know they've been playing in the Manchester Monday night Futsal League as well. So I think they were third in that. So they've definitely got a few more minutes together. But here come Leeds Beckett with a good James Kay there as well, making himself big, and with that small goal as well, he's really doing well.
It was actually 3-on-1 there for a moment, Sheffield against MMU, but the goalkeeper there, he just did a perfect. He made the right choice.
Yeah, he did really well. I mean, MMU will be feeling happy as well. We've seen him do some really good saves in both the games. And, if you've got that good keeper there that you can rely on, it gives confidence throughout the whole team. Yeah, especially in a game like futsal, where you have to commit so many men forward and you have that risk of a counter-attack.
Oh, that's a beautiful goal.
What a finish there from one of the number 5s. I think that might be Gibson. but there's 3 5s it could be. This comes out from the corner. Went long, didn't he? And then it dropped back in. I think he caught MMU out a little bit with a long-range shot.
Oh, that is another amazing team goal there from MMU. It just seems to be perfect team play, and the chemistry just seems to be through the roof right now. It's like they know where they're going to be, the through balls. It's like they're passing into areas because they know a player will be there.
And the Leeds Beckett manager will not be happy with that, you know what I mean? They've just scored, got themselves right back into it, and then you just end up conceding again. I think this is the danger of in futsal and of this MMU team, you know, you can never
Jake
you
Barnes
can't relax
just
for a
one
second.
possession there. It's unlucky.
I mean, yeah, Jake Barnes is looking dangerous today, definitely. They'll need to do something to calm him down, because his control of the ball and his ability to make plays and get into spaces is really causing Leeds trouble at the moment.
Yeah, he's always one that you have to keep an eye out for. I've always said this since we've seen him last game, that as soon as he touches the ball, you can see he's a little bit different to the other players. The ball rolls that he does, the close control. You can just know that a goal's coming when he's in the flow of it.
So, I mean, you're really putting their pressure on. They've got their one man at the back and then 3 lying across the middle. I don't know if that's confidence or if it's mind games, just trying to put the pressure on Leeds or what, but they're really not making it easy for them.
I'd say it's a bit of both, really. And if you actually do take a glance at the Leeds bench, they're all very wary. They're all up on their feet. They look a bit stressed.
Ooh, Barnes a little bit of a overhit pass, maybe. Not sure Sam Edders would be happy they didn't manage to pick that one up, though.
Yeah, you'd have to say the substitutions made by MMU once again are working out perfectly. It seems that the starting lineup that MMU come out with are good, but as soon as they make the subs, it's just liquid football.
Well, I think we've seen the full lineup is always the exact same, and the starting team is maybe 1 or 2 players different every time, but they basically have a second team that they pull on, don't they, from the bench,
Yeah.
or change at least 3 of the 4 outfield players, and they're just constantly keeping themselves fresh and changing their movement and the way they play, which makes it so difficult for the other teams to get a read on them. I mean, the other manager was saying that futsal's a bit like chess. You need to be aware of what the other team are doing and trying to change your tactics based on them, and that's what he was looking for their team today. But how difficult is that to do when MMU have basically 2.5 full teams that they can change in and out of? Leaves it really difficult for a coach to try and have a tactical plan that will work against every player in an MMU team.
Yeah, we here at Matchday Live, we tried to stream all of the cup games for futsal, and the manager actually did say that he's taken a look at the video on demand and he's tried to create a game plan that will counter it. Doesn't seem to be working right now, though.
Yeah, he didn't like my analogy that I could watch City play 1,000 times doesn't mean that I'll be able to make a team beat them. Unfortunately, MMU are a little bit like that at the moment. They just seem to do so well on the ball at this level, for sure.
Oh, it's straight power there. That is a great save to save that, but
It's a close one as well. Kind of came off his trailing hand, managed to drop down behind him, and had the reaction to get back onto it. Look at that high press there from Jake Barnes as well. Just no time on the ball. Ooh, I thought I got it.
The side netting, yeah. Goalkeeper made himself wide enough to cover the near post.
A little bit of a stray pass there.
I believe that might have gone out of play for a corner.
Is Ollie Baker still fit out there? That's my only question. Scored 4 goals in the last round of this cup, so they'll definitely want him back on. But if he's actually going to be able to keep playing, we'll have to wait and see.
Could see a goal coming here from MMU. They seem to be working on their set pieces. A lovely little flip-flap there from Jake Barnes, but didn't come off, unfortunately. He's just gone out for another corner.
Leeds here going for a bit of a zonal marking, but I think we've seen that before from some teams playing against MMU, and it's not worked out the best for them. Sometimes the man marking might be a little bit better. Really unlucky there from MMU. Who is that, number 23? Harvey Forster, be really annoyed that he's not got a goal there.
Yeah, honestly, the team futsal that this MMU team are playing right now, it just seems liquid. Everything's just moving perfectly and all the passes are coming off.
Yeah, someone's got a timeout here. I'm assuming it's Leeds.
Yeah,
Might
I
be.
did catch an eye of it before where both of the managers looked stressed and the team bench was up on their feet. Whereas if you take a look at the MMU bench, they're all sat down, they're calm because they know that they're in control of the game right now.
Yeah, I think how many more games, because they joined that other league. So for the people who don't know, the futsal league for the unis is not the best, and there can be a long gap in between the games. So this Leeds Beckett team have only played 3 official games, 2 in the league, 1 in the cup, and they got a bye in the second round of the cup. Whereas MMU have played their 2 league games, their 2 cup games, and they've been playing that Monday night league. And, you know, that chemistry, especially in such a tight, controlled game like futsal, I think that chemistry and knowing how each of the players want to play makes a massive difference. And they can just seem that bit sharper than the teams they're playing against, and I think that's a big contributor for that.
Yeah, and this Manchester league actually helps them out quite a bit because they're playing teams that are better than them. It's
to get
not
that challenge.
Yeah, like in the league, of course, you get teams that are better than you, but you are around the same league. That's why you're in the cup right now. This is the first challenge that they've really faced, and you can see the difference already. That
I think Scott Froggett's just on there for Chingwei. Sorry to cut you off. Seems to have slowed down a little bit. I think we had those first 5 goals definitely in the first 5 minutes, and then we've had a little bit of a cool off here. Maybe MMU have definitely been trying. But Leeds Beckett would be hoping to slow the game down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I mean MMU here, you can just tell that they're so confident on the ball. They're taking players on even though they're not going to keep it, and
off the ball as well. They're pressed. They press in 2 sometimes, and they just need to rob. Oof, goes for a long shot there.
That was straight confidence there from the MMU player.
I think that's Sam Edwards there, and went for the long ding.
We haven't seen that often in futsal. It's always, close passes, close touch control. You never really see long shots, but
I think Froggett scored for futsal at least, a long shot in that other cup game. I think if I remember rightly, blasted it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
Because I think we kind of said that they'd taken about 3 or 4 long shots before that point, hadn't scored, and just after we said that, of course, he scores one bottom corner. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, we love a bit of commentator's curse here at Matchday Live. Sam Edwards trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, quite happy on the ball, aren't they, MMU? Oh, well robbed off there by Leeds Beckett, but James Kay just confident in his ability on the ball as well. But since Sam Edwards made a nice run. To be honest, I kind of thought he was going to take on the shot there, but
the press there from MMU.
Oh, ref wasn't happy with that though. Not sure if it's the keeper or Mark that's fouled him there, but he's not happy. You need to be careful here as well. Actually, there's only you're only allowed, I think, 5 fouls per half. Let me just check that. Yeah, 5 fouls per half. And if I think MMU were on 2 or 3 already. If they hit that 5th one as well, they will give up a 10-metre penalty. So they definitely want to be careful they don't give away too many fouls, especially when you're winning a game as well. You don't need to be giving away silly little things.
No, yeah, definitely nothing like that where the 4-2 lead, even though it is 2 goals in futsal, it really isn't that much. And 1 goal can change it completely to 4-3, and then all it takes is 1 more.
Well, yeah, Leeds be hoping that they can get back into it without letting MMU score again. So I think Kieran Williams is back on and Jake Barnes is back on there. Marcos Ofua going off. So the current team out is Sam Edwards there, 18, Scott Froggatt, Jake Barnes just passed it off, and Kieran Williams is out of camera. Over on the side there.
It's good to see Ollie Baker back on the court though after that. After he went off with an injury, he seems to be okay. He's not limping at all. Seems to be in quite a bit of pain now. Oh, it's just off the post there from...
Thought that had gone into it, and they bounced back
Scott
out.
Froggatt. He took a long shot and just wasn't perfect, was it?
No, I think maybe after that one in that last game, he will be happy.
Yeah.
To take them on at least. Yeah, Ollie Baker back on is definitely big for... so I thought it was Jake Barnes, but it's not, it's Ollie Baker. Gingers.
Yeah. Just for context, Ed is ginger,
Yeah,
so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say it.
MMU, they're complaining about a foul, I believe, and
Yes, Sam Edwards was down there holding the back of his head as well. I wasn't very happy with it.
yeah, the ref's not having any of it. Pulling it back for a kick in.
The ref's getting stuck in. It's definitely most involvement I think we've seen from a ref at all so far.
Yeah.
There's not been many calls in the other games. Occasional free kicks here and there, but not often.
Yeah, in the other games, you notice that the ref lets a lot of things go, and even speaking to the players after the game, from both sides of the teams, both teams, they both say to us, the ref lets a lot go.
I don't mind that, the little nips, the little tackles and stuff. A little touch on the shin. There's no point in doing the full
No, yeah.
professional footballer role. But yeah, he's definitely getting involved today. He's not shy.
Yeah, this game he seems to be a bit more invested in it.
Saw what they're trying to do there. Would have been nice if number 2 for Leeds Beckett managed to get on the end of it, but didn't quite get the touch he needed. And James Kay was there putting a bit of pressure on him.
MMU just going to restart now from the back. Here's Ollie Baker.
With this set of substitutions, I think MMU have changed a little bit. But just before they put the subs on, we were kind of playing a 3 at the back and then had one person running around up top all the time. But now they've kind of gone back to their 2-2, where they have 2 guys back in their half each side and then 2 guys further up the opposition's end out wide as well. So maybe that's another difference within the subs that makes it again so difficult for the other team to read.
Yeah, MMU, they seem to be constantly changing their shape depending on their players. And because they have so many players, that changing the shape is just inevitable. And you don't have time to adapt to this MMU team.
Yeah, being able to set up different shapes and tactical plans as well, depending on your team's skill set. Good
Froggatt
chance.
there, perfect.
And Froggatt puts it home. Of course he does. That makes it 5-2 to MMU, really in the driving seat now. And I think without Leeds somehow kind of changing their whole mentality for this game very quickly and getting a few quick goals, I think they could be struggling for the rest of this game.
Yeah, that's Froggatt's second goal of the game, and he's looking for a hat-trick. He definitely is.
Yeah, that first one was really nice as well, that little chip.
And
This
then
one's
he's gone
slightly
for
different.
a long shot, yeah. Wonder what the next goal will be. A little back heel.
Well, the chip was left foot. I think that was right foot as well. So if he gets the header, perfect hat-trick.
Perfect hat-trick.
That'd be a beautiful thing to see. But a header in futsal is definitely not common. I don't think we've seen a single header goal, apart from Kieran Williams' little hop after Chingwei's had gone in that we confirmed on the slow motion replay to him after. And here is Kieran Williams.
Oh, he's perfect.
Sitting out there as well. This is definitely something MMU are trying. They've left Kieran Williams before was on the right wing and really far out on his own. Now he's out on the left. I think he's just trying to find those pockets of space, and he knows that people like Scott Froggatt can just find him with a pass. 9 shots on target for MMU there.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice little run. Doesn't quite come off for him though. Number 6 there for MMU. That was Sam Cook. I think he cooked the cameraman for a second as well. He flinched for the shot, but he didn't even take it on. It was a little fake. Drops to Kieran Williams. Oh, takes a nice shot in the first as well. Keeper well held.
It was a nice try, but just didn't come off for him, unfortunately.
Oh, MMU have got him pinned back a little bit here. Oh, that's a big claim for the foul. Ref has given it as well.
It was a little late there, I do think, from the referee, where he did get the ball, and then once MMU were in possession, he called it back.
MMU have definitely, I think that's definitely at least their 3rd, if not 4th of this half as well. So they need to be careful they don't get another foul away. 8.5 minutes left in this half, and 5 up, really no need to, really. They tried a little pass out there, and Ollie Baker's just stepped in.
That was a great ball from the Leeds Beckett goalkeeper, but unfortunately number 13 there he just couldn't convert it into a goal.
Yeah, it's something you don't often see in regular sized full pitch football, is this goalkeeper straight to striker. I remember that first game we saw against I think it was UA92, wasn't it? They were really going for it. just launching it from the goalkeeper straight to their striker, and I think they got a goal from it, or two maybe.
Yeah, their goalkeeper was really impressive. I think he's the player that's came to Platt Lane to play us, and he's impressed us the most. We'll see if anyone can, on this Leeds team, can change my
That
mind.
was actually quite a nice shot there from number 2 from Leeds, like really far out, and it was actually going to, I think, go straight into that top corner, but James Kelly's had enough time to get his eyes and his hands on it.
Yeah, I think that's why the long shots in futsal are so impressive, because literally every single time you take a long shot, the keeper has so much time to react, and because the net's so small, he only has to adjust his feet a tiny bit. And to score a long shot in futsal is really an achievement.
Yeah, they've got to be pretty perfectly placed to get away with it.
Yeah, it has to be pinpoint accuracy.
Kieran Williams though, just taking the kick in. Out to Ollie Baker's going to go back to him. No, just clearing it off the defender there.
Speaking to the Leeds manager before the game, he did mention to us that they're still trying to iron out a few problems that the team has, and they're still kind of in the building stage of this year, where they haven't played many games, and since Christmas they haven't really practiced properly. So I think that you can tell this now, and they've just
and they've got a penalty here for a hand. Obviously the Leeds Beckett players are really not happy with it. To be honest, I think it's a little bit harsh as well. He's kind of taken this shot and he's turned his body into it. I mean, maybe the ref had a better angle from it, but a little bit harsh maybe on such a small court. To have it blasted at you like that and give away a penalty seems a little bit harsh, but
yeah. I mean, coming from this now, you can see Ollie Baker scoring this.
Don't know, it's a small goal. I think it's probably harder than a normal penalty, to be honest.
I think if you put all your power and all your might into the shot.
How easy is it to lift over though? Here he goes. Ooh.
Leeds Beckett defender there, just trying to put Ollie Baker off with some trash talk.
Ooh.
Didn't work.
The keeper's done well, to be fair. He actually did get a hand to it, and I thought he'd saved it for a second. He's not happy with himself at all, but I think he did as well as he could there. It was a really powerful shot, and he does get that first hand to it down to the ground, but it's just too powerful. I mean, yeah, from such close range as well. Yeah, like you said, once you put all that power behind it,
yeah,
it's going to be hard
you
to
have
stop.
to put your whole body in front of the shot to save it. A hand just won't do from this close.
Seen there as well, the scorer is so spread out in the MMU team. Their whole team seems to defend, to pass and to score, and I think that's their biggest strength for sure, that everyone could do everything almost. I mean, who have we got so far? Villarreal, Froggatt 2, Forster 1, Baker 1. Yeah, so it's already spreading, and we're only early in this, halfway through this first half, just over. There goes Baker. I mean, he's more than happy to take on a shot as well. He's scored a lot of goals so far for MMU.
Yeah, he's always a threat when he's on the ball, and especially when he's looking to fake shot, you can never tell that it's going to be a thing.
Bang. What a goal that is. I mean, is that Cook? Yeah, Sam Cook. That's what I thought. Has had an absolute blinder there. Picked up the ball really nice and from good distance as well, right across goal.
Jamie Villarreal has just come onto the court for MMU. As soon as he's got it, he's created a great chance. Kieran Williams just couldn't convert, unfortunately.
Leeds Beckett are really struggling now. This is getting a bit, I don't know, not even a bit, very difficult for them. MMU have got fully into their stride. They've got their goals ahead, so now they can really commit to just high press, everyone on the attack. They've got high fitness. They've made so many subs, made so many changes in and out. Here they come again. I mean, yeah, 7-2. Not even through the first half yet. This could be one of our highest scoring games.
Yeah, I did say this from the beginning that when you see teams that are so close in skill, where you want to take the first step. And speaking to the Leeds man, he did say he's waiting for MMU to take the first step, and I think that was a mistake on his behalf.
I don't think it was the first step that was the problem. I think it was the 6 after that the problem.
Yeah.
And there you go. See, now Leeds Beckett, I think, have just given away their 5th foul. I think that's why that 10-metre penalty, that's that back line there a little bit further out.
Looks like Jake Barnes is going to take this on.
Fair play to him. It's in as well, but ref's not happy about something. He's really getting involved, this ref. That's
Yeah.
the most I've seen of a ref in futsal so far.
I mean, he did stutter at the beginning to make sure everything was fine, but
Yeah, he stopped again, and here he goes.
see if he can do it a second time.
Don't know how the keeper's going to feel. Don't know if it makes it better or worse facing 2 penalties.
Yeah. From this far out.
Oh, he stopped the second one, though. Oh,
Can't
but
stop the
cleaned
second.
up. Who was that? Number 22 for MMU, Jamie Villarreal. Villarreal by name, Villarreal by nature. No chance to be happy with that one. Oh, through the keeper's legs as well.
I thought we were going to get a little Thierry Henry moment there, where you take a free
Handball on the
kick.
line, stop Ireland going to the World Cup.
No, you take the free kick and ref isn't happy. You take it again and score.
No, it's the opposite way around. He scored the first one, well saved in the second one, to be fair down. No, it's quite unfortunate for him as well. He's actually done really well to save that shot
Yeah.
down with the leg and just been caught out on the second attempt. But Jamie Villarreal showed a little bit more commitment to getting that second ball than any of the Leeds defenders have. I mean, we've seen there was a little bit of a kick out a second ago from one of the Leeds players after the ref had called a foul, and I think they get a bit frustrated out there. And that's the last thing they need right now. They need cool heads. They need to slow this game down and keep hold of the ball a little bit, because right now they are definitely going out of this cup.
Yeah, very physical game right now, and you can definitely tell that the teams, especially the Leeds team, they're getting quite hot-headed sometimes. And Chingwei there's just received a yellow card.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know if he gave out cards. We've not seen any. We've seen a
No,
few
we
big
haven't
challenges as
seen.
well. But yeah, I think you can see the difference with the players' faces, that the MMU lads are kind of laughing away. They're cheery. They're happy. They're enjoying themselves. Leeds Beckett getting so frustrated, and it's showing on the pitch. The more frustrated Leeds have got, the worse. They were really good. Those first few minutes when it was 1-0 and 2-1, they were really in the game. Even 3-1, it was quite slow. And now all of a sudden, I think maybe a bit of tiredness, frustration has all just mixed in, and they're just dropping off. See if they can get something from a little set piece here. Well taken by James Kay.
I mean, it's reflected in the scoreline. 8-2 in the first half's not even finished.
Oh, there was that header we were talking about as well. Imagine that.
Chingwei as well.
He did score a lovely goal in the first knockout round. We had to do the slow-mo replay just to check it went over the line. I think there's an MMU kick in there, and a few stray passes from Leeds, really losing them out as well. They're in a position where conceding the ball in your own half is not what they can afford to do, and yeah, it's not going well for them at the moment. And MMU just happy taking the spoils at the moment. Keenan is right in the back post there. Don't know what he's trying to do, but
Yeah, they must have something planned for a situation like this where a shot really isn't possible.
well, yeah, we saw Chingwei score from the set piece, a little pass off, didn't we, in that first game? So maybe they'll go for that again now. It wouldn't surprise me if he kind of stood in the position there for a little layoff, just first time shot.
Even Jamie Villarreal there.
Yeah, he could take a shot from a slightly different angle, maybe confuse the keeper. Ooh,
Is that off the head of number 5 there for Leeds? I think that's come off the head, and
which number 5 is that though? I think it's Gibson, but
the ball hasn't come down.
it could be Daniel Sullivan. Oh, it's lost in space.
It's hit the roof of the court, and
It's good
It's
headed
not gone
clearance. Oh well,
they've
no.
got a fresh one. There we go.
Maybe it came straight off the frame. Then I thought it came off number 5 Gibson's head, but
Yeah.
apparently not. Keeper's ball. Leeds on it here. Look at this press from MMU. See, the 3 Leeds players are together, and so 3 MMU players have all grouped up on them as well. So there's just no space, making it really difficult. Kieran Williams surely finishing that one. Keeper's done really well.
It's a great save.
Ooh, there's a little bit of argy-bargy there between Williams and
yeah,
the
a little
keeper.
bit.
He's kind of shaking his head, going, you can see what he's doing. He's trying to get in MMU's head a little bit, but it's pretty hard to get in the team's head when you're getting beat so convincingly. Oh, lovely touch round.
Off the post.
Oh,
It's quite
but
unfortunate
not a
there
goal
from
there.
Nunes.
Yeah. I mean, just like another Nunes we know of. Didn't quite cost 85 million this one, though, at least. But yeah, he did really well with the chest touch actually round James Kay, who'd risked it coming out, then off the post, and I'm not sure who it dropped to on the Leeds Beckett team, but couldn't quite get his composure together and finish it off. MU still looking good here. Marcos Ofur back on.
Yeah, well, you were mentioning the high press before. Even when they're 8-2 up, they're still high pressing like this and they're winning every single ball that they can.
Well, to my mind, it makes more sense when you're so many goals ahead. You might as well keep the press on and keep the ball up in their half. You know, and they can afford to concede 3 goals in the counter attack right now if it means they can keep the ball into the Leeds half and keep them under pressure all the time and get these quick shots off. There's not much risk at all for him. He's done well there though. Maybe they're going to
straight away. They get the ball back, even though it goes out of play. They've avoided the danger that was coming to them.
All of a sudden they're looking a bit better than MMU actually, and they'll be hoping if they can get a goal or 2 here before half time, they'd put them in a much better position for the second half. You can get goals very fast in futsal, you know, and once you've got the momentum as well, it can really carry through, and you can score 3, 4, 5 goals in very quick succession. So they shouldn't give up, but they definitely need to get maybe 1 or 2 in this first half without conceding again, if they have any hope of coming back in the second.
Yeah, honestly, when you're going into the first half break, you should never go in 8-2 down or 6-2 down. You want to go down.
They've tried with the fly keeper there, and almost got punished for it, but well cleared up by their number 13, who is Hood. That is Hood for their team, for Leeds Beckett there. Oh. So he's not given this handball, which in my mind was probably worse than the handball that he gave for the penalty. I'm not sure what's happening with the ref at the moment. I mean, that one was more definitely further away from his body as well and spread out and on his hand, not just down his arm.
He's got no VAR unfortunately, so he'll see this VOD back and he'll realise the mistake he's made.
Maybe he just said after the first penalty he's not going to go, oof. And I mean,
that's not a foul, no?
Yeah. I was about to say that one out of all the fouls we've seen in the game was probably the most of a Stonewall. That was from behind.
Yeah, he does seem a bit pressured to have give that foul though. It doesn't seem like he wanted to until there was a lot of protests.
I mean, it's funny because at the beginning he was giving out fouls left, right and centre and quite confident in them, and all of a sudden now he seems to be a little bit less likely to give them. I don't know if he's maybe trying to fight in Leeds' corner for a second and keep the game going. Oh, and he's picked up a yellow as well. Was that for Nunes?
Yeah, Nunes. I think that wasn't even for the foul. I think it was for the bad mouthing that he was giving after it.
Oh.
Didn't seem too happy at all with the foul.
I mean, this is a big run up here. They're trying to fake it. I thought he was about to jump in there, James Villarreal, for a second and knock it round him, but no. Sam Cook takes the penalty, well saved up in the air. The Leeds Beckett are not happy.
No,
the coach
manager,
is not happy there, yeah.
You can tell he's fuming with what's just happened. They've given away the possession for no reason there.
I think he wasn't happy that his striker was just trying to sit up in the MMU half, keep himself out of the dirty work, but that's not really how futsal works. No, you need the whole team. It's a team effort and such a team press and everything like that. You need every player possible. There's only 4 outfield players in the first place. Ooh, tries a little roll back heel flick, but not quite this time for Marcos Ofua.
I think they're trying to add salt to the wounds here and just destroy the mentals of the Leeds team, and you can't blame him for it, honestly.
So wasn't it Marcos Ofua who got the rainbow flick off in the last round when they were like 9-2 up or something like that, and it was beautiful but a little bit sickening to watch.
Yeah.
So harsh. Oh, there he goes. He really gets some power behind those strikes, doesn't he? Leeds Beckett just trying to launch the ball out from the keeper as well, as fast as they can.
And straight away, if you see there, they had 3 MMU players and 4 if you include the goalkeeper, so it just was never going to work out. The high press from MMU is just so important.
Yeah, it is amazing for MMU sometimes how they can seem to be pressing so much in the other team's half, but then also all be at the back. Oh, they've left their goal open though. Well stopped there. Was that Ollie Baker or Jake Barnes down there?
It was Jake Barnes this time. I think he's just come on.
Step back on and made a brilliant clearance. James Kerr definitely happy with him, and that's another one as well. You know, if you're going to play that fly keeper, it's not just about the keeper knowing what to do outfield, but having the rest of their team being able to do those little blocks and fill in and cover the goal as well. Yeah, Jake Barnes doesn't give up the ball easy. He has lost it, but he definitely put up a fight for it.
Yeah.
And Nunes doing well there again.
Nunes has gone down. It's not been given. No. It's not been given. He said play on. Yeah, this is a very physical game, this game. It's definitely more physical than other games that we've seen here at Matchday Live.
You see the Leeds Beckett player there, stand up, hands on his head, coach hands on his head.
Yeah.
I think that'd be another yellow card, is there? For another Leeds Beckett player.
Yeah, that one I think is for the protest that he was giving. I think the yellow cards that he's giving out today are just...
There's like 3 yellow cards as well already.
And we've had none in the 2 previous games at all, so it's a first for us here. Well, yeah, we were just touching on before where MMU, they're quite known for their fly keeper.
And there they go, punishing them. Marcos Afua just didn't have to do much, got to stand at the back post and wait for that ball in. There's that Ching Wei with a lovely little ball, yeah. It's just so much space, so clear. I think that's one of the big things. You don't see MMU giving that kind of space.
No.
When it's a slope, counter-attack maybe, but they don't give up that kind of space. And yeah,
Well,
it's just an easy finish there for Marcos.
You see on your screen now, the actual list of players covers up half the court for MMU scorers.
Their whole team can score. They all get so stuck in.
Yeah. You rarely ever see one player scoring the most. It's always split up where you can tell some players are performing better than others, but they always score.
Well, yeah, you could say that certain players in the MMU team, maybe more likely to score, but they all can, and they all just put that team shift in. You see, like Leeds having to shout at their striker to drop back in to defend. That MMU don't need that. They know where they want. They know where the coach wants them to be, and they know where they want themselves to be. And that's how they seem to find A, pockets of space, and B, they manage to pressure through multiple players and push them all into one little section. Like we've seen them have, Leeds have the ball, 3 players around the halfway line, and then you've got 3 there as well, and they push them all real tight together, so there's no pass out option. Whereas when MMU have that ball, maybe 1 or 2 people are close to each other, supporting each other down the back, and the other 2 are just running into any amount of space they can find, so there's always that option. And it just makes it so difficult for the other team to defend against.
We've got MMU with a penalty here. Jake Barnes.
10-metre pen.
He does finish.
Slots it home.
Did that the first time. Referee didn't like it and then couldn't convert it, but he managed to do it this time.
10-metre penalty to make it 10-2 as well. And this is not going the way I expected to be, especially after those first few minutes, how well Leeds had done early doors in this game. And yeah, they just really, just under the pressure of the goals, I think the weight of the goals has just crushed them down. And MMU just so confident. They know what they're doing always. Marcos Afua there, just to wind up the Leeds Beckett player, even though he's giving the ball back to him, has just done a little skill round him. I think they're winning the mental game, MMU definitely.
Yeah.
And if anything, that's maybe what's gone wrong for Leeds so far in this half, is that they've got agitated, they've got angry with each other, they've got angry with the ref, and they've got angry with the MMU team, and MMU are just going, no worries, you can be as angry as you like, we're going to play the game that we always play. And they're getting the result for it. They're getting the...
That's a bit of a confusing decision there from the referee. Marcos Afua looked like he was in a scoring position and he had the ball, but he pulls it back for an MMU foul. It's a bit confusing, a bit of an odd one there.
Well, it's a 10-metre penalty again, which is really... I'm not sure what is giving these 10-metre penalties, because it's normally 5 fouls. I don't know how they've got another 5 fouls in there again. Another one saved though, so he's on 2 10-metres saved, 1 gone in, and a short range gone in as well. Keeper's actually not having a horrific game.
No.
He's just faced so many shots in this half, and MMU get quality shots as well. How many of the MMU shots are within 2 or 3 yards of the goal as well, and he's just rolling them under him? Just so tough for him. And all the keepers we've seen so far in this tournament. I think the first game had 20.
Yeah, you had 33 saves.
Yeah,
33.
I think the other was maybe 27 or 28 as well, something like that. Here we go. I've got the numbers written down for you. So in their first one, when they won 12-5, they had 33 shots on target, so the keeper made 28 saves. In their second game, when they won 11-2, they had 40 shots on target, so 29 saves in that game. This keeper is maybe on 7 or 8 already. Yeah,
you'd have to say at least, and first half's not even over.
Oh, James Kay is down there, and he's not looking happy.
Yeah, he threw his body into the ball there to protect it, and it's worked out. But
I think it's his fingers there, maybe. I don't know if maybe he's taken a little kick from Sam Edwards. He was a little bit sheepish after that one, so I think he might have accidentally given him a little clip on the hand. So here's what I'm talking about. You see that? Well, even Marcos Afu's even dropped back now, but there's always those 2 players at the back, and there's always someone moving around to find that space. And Jake Barnes is the one there. Leeds Beckett taking the ball well. He's he's begging for the foul there. I see why the ref's not giving it.
Yeah,
Because
he's gone down a bit too easily there.
he has shielded the ball well with his body, but it's clear that he's trying to go down with it. So the ref's not giving it. And if anything, he could have actually lost the foul there because he's kind of kicking his legs out while he's on the ground. If I think it was Jake Barnes on the ball. If he'd wanted, he could have easily just fallen over himself and go, well, he's just kicked me down on the ground. And I think that's what you see in this Leeds team. They're agitated. The ref has annoyed them, and it's getting into head a little bit at the moment. There's only a minute 26 left in this half. I mean, MMU will be loving it. They'll probably want to get to 11 or 12 before half-time if possible. I think Leeds Beckett are probably just begging for the buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, on the mental side of this...
Ooh, goes for a nice long shot, though. James Kay taking it under control.
MMU have definitely winning the mental battle.
Is he going to give a foul there? No. Jake Barnes here with a few of the ball rolls. A little bit of pressure there from number 13. I think that's Hood for Leeds Beckett, though, just meant that he couldn't quite keep it under control. Ooh. Just a little tumble over. Oh,
see, yeah.
Ah, and there he goes down there. That is proper professional football. That is little ball throw in the face, little agitation, and fair play to James Kay. He's claiming it. He's going, that's not really allowed, trying to get him in trouble. But MMU have definitely won the mind game here, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good connection with the futsal team here at MMU, and when we speak to them before and after the game, they're always in good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
They
love the game as well. I think obviously the only games you ever see that they have won, but I think they love it. They love it either way, and they know that they play good stuff. And I think they're reveling at the moment with this. They've won the mind games, and they're looking as a pretty good shout to win the game overall, get to that semi-final.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame them for being happy like this, but then the Leeds team, I think it's only the first half, and the mental's going slowly, and I think they need to recuperate, and hopefully the team talk at half-time can give them that.
Yeah, well, I think they've maybe used that timeout too early. You know, they called that timeout, I think, when it was 3-1, or might have just gone to, might have been 4-2, actually. Can't remember if it was before or after they scored their second. And at the time, I thought, yeah, fair play. It's getting away from them a little bit now. Yeah. But actually, they definitely could have used it, especially in this last 5-6 minutes of this half. They're losing their heads a little bit, and they just conceded more and more goals. I think now would have been a better time to maybe pull them aside and say, lads, you need to calm down, because it's only going to get worse the more you try and lash out at people, commit unnecessary fouls, get annoyed at the ref, pick up these yellow cards. Having 2 yellow cards in the first half as well, that if they get a red, that's game over, isn't it, really? What are they going to do then?
Yeah, you could tell that he was pulling him back a little bit. He was pulling back Nunes, and Nunes wasn't happy, and that's another yellow card for that. The yellow cards are coming out just so easily this game.
No, this is craziness. We haven't even seen a single yellow card in any of the other games. I think it's Sam Edwards and Ching Wei, isn't it, for MMU on yellows.
And then I know Nunes has one for Leeds, but I'm not sure about the other player, unfortunately. But
no, I can't remember who the other one was for Leeds.
See if they can convert this.
Nine free kicks as well in the first half. I think that could easily be a high. I think there might have been 2 or 3 in our last game over the whole game. Just shows that A, this ref is taking a lot less nonsense, and B, these two teams are getting well stuck into each other. Sam Edwards seems unhappy with the placement of the ball. Trying to have a little eye on the ref, and James Kay as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of disruption and arguments going on with the ref's decisions this game.
I think they may be claiming that where they put the ball is where he's gone down, but not actually where the foul was. That maybe the foul was a little bit further back. But he doesn't seem happy with it, and he maybe trying to get in his ear a little bit now. He's standing right behind him as well. Sam Edwards, the guy who committed the foul. And there you go, now it's been pushed back for a 10-metre foul. So the ref clearly agrees. He didn't agree with his first decision, but he agrees with that. Nice finish, to be fair.
It's a great finish.
So that's one of the number 5s for Leeds Beckett. It is either... No, it's not, it's number 13. I think he actually scored one of their first goals as well. Yes, he did. He did score the first goal.
Yeah, he is the pivot for this Leeds team, where a lot of team play revolves around him.
Yeah, I don't think he's come off either. I think he's been on the whole game. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to the manager before the game, he had some praise for Hood, and we can't blame him for that, because when you do see him on the ball, it is impressive, and it's just unfortunate the way this game's going, and MMU are just in that mood today, I guess.
Yeah, I think when MMU are just free scoring like this and doing so well in the press and in defence, you know, it's always going to be difficult. I mean, to be honest, MMU, the only loss this season was a 5-1 to Sheffield Hallam, and I'd love to watch that game, because I don't know what I would love to see what went wrong from that day, if maybe their shots just didn't come off, or if Sheffield Hallam are a better team, because every game that we've seen of them, yeah, they've been so dominant in every sense of the game as well.
Yeah, I did think this game would be a little different because of the difference in the teams.
Now, will that count? Did that beat the buzzer?
I don't think it did. No, he's pointing that it did count.
No, the MMU players look annoyed, and I think he just put up a 4, so that did count. I think. Number 9, Jake Field there to make it 10-4 just before half time.
Yeah, the big protest here for MMU, and I don't blame them, honestly. It was just after the buzzer. It's so hard to determine whether or not it should count as a goal.
Yes.
Leeds Beckett, they're looking a bit angry here.
They are really fuming. They're trying to get stuck into the ref. I mean, even MMU having a little chat with the ref now as well. So it's half time now, and it is really boiling over a little bit.
Yeah.
Leeds Beckett are going off to change room, and I think we are going to stop from there. You get 19 shots from MMU on target in this half. That is huge. I think we're going to just have a little stop for a second, and then we'll be back with the first half replays. Yes, we've just got the replays for you here, a few of them. I'm missing one of the MU goals, I think, but what is this? I think that's the first goal of the game.
Yeah, this is where the game really started and warmed up.
Oh, yeah, Scott Frogger with a little right knee up, left chip finish. Keeper had no chance. That was a nice one to start the game. And you were definitely confident after that, but got bitten quite quickly, wasn't it? I think it was maybe 30 seconds later. And now we can decide as well who got this goal, because...
Yeah, we're a bit indecisive here in the studio.
See, did Hood get a touch there? It starts with Howard, and Hood seems to celebrate it. I'm not
No.
sure if he actually gets a touch or not.
I'll have to say I'll give that to Howard.
I think so as well. So that first goal actually was for Howard, not Hood.
You know, this was a great Jamie Villarreal one-touch football here with Kieran. Perfect.
Yeah, was that the 1-2 straight from a counter-attack as well,
Yeah.
from a corner? Dangerous.
And then I think this was right after the kickoff. Nunes, it was just really close football, and
Oh, yeah,
that one was just a
tight.
bit unfortunate. But then,
James Kay doing really well in goal from MU.
yeah.
Let's see what this next one is. Oh, here we go. Jake Barnes to Marcos Ofua, wasn't it? And then he runs all the way down the pitch as Marcos Ofua pings it long across the pitch down to Chingwei on the left wing, who just first time pass it across, finish bottom left, keeper's bottom right. Too easy for MMU.
Yeah, honestly, you can see by these highlights that MMU, you can just tell when they're in flow state, and this half they definitely are.
Here comes. This is a nice goal actually as well. Work from Leeds Beckett. It's almost like a knuckle ball there outside the foot from number 5. Done really well.
Yeah, a bit like João Cancelo-esque, you'd say.
Nah, he scored a goal. That'd be silly. Here come MMU though again. This one on their later goals. I think this is number 4. Oh, this was straight after the break, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Literally, just you'd think Leeds are getting back into it, but then back straight to 4-2. Yeah, Scott Frogger picking up his second there. Ollie Baker, I think, with the assist. Now I've got the only close range penalty we've had. We've had 4 penalties, but 3 of them have been 10-metre penalties.
Yeah, this was just straight power. And I was saying this before he actually even stepped up to it. A close penalty like this.
Yeah, and the keeper is going to be so annoyed with himself. He did get that hand, but it wasn't quite enough. I mean, that one was that.
I believe that's
Sam
Sam
Edwards, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
No, Sam Cook.
Sam Cook.
The
Yeah.
two Sams are always the confusing ones. But Sam Cook there robbing the ball off of Leeds Beckett from a little bit of a stray pass and just shoots it from long range. Here was the penalty that was saved. Remember, he'd scored the first one. Ref wasn't happy with
referee
it.
wasn't happy.
Second take, Jamie Villarreal clears it up from close. Oh, this one was really close from Leeds Beckett. So unlucky. Nunes there, being very Nunes-esque, and hits the post from an open goal. And then the Leeds Beckett player who gets onto it just couldn't quite get it together and finish that one off. It kind of stumbles back between his legs. Oh no, there was another short range penalty. In fact, there you go, Sam Cook as well taking that one, and well saved by the Leeds keeper. And here we have.
Marcos Ofua there. He's just. I guarantee that the Leeds players there were just so unhappy with the positioning where
Yeah, I think
he's
that.
just by himself next to the net.
Yeah, I think that was a 9-2, and I think that was the 10th goal there with that long range penalty, slotted home by Jake Barnes, and then straight back return for Hood with a 10-metre penalty as well. And then this one, the slightly controversial one, was the buzzer too late on that one? Was it there? Was it not? The ref didn't seem to give it at first, and then did give it in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, Benji, what are you looking forward to in this second half, apart from maybe even more goals?
Oh, I'm looking forward to see what Leeds can do, because they came into the game pretty much, in my eyes, equal. I thought coming into this game, they're in the same league. They've both won the same amount of games to get to this position. They're in the quarterfinals. They're both putting whatever they can on the line. But they've come out with something that they just can't.
I mean, it even seemed equal right at the beginning of that half, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got the 2 goals. They were keeping up with MMU. But then as soon as they can still see that 4th one, straight after they scored their 2nd, they fell away a little bit. I mean, they managed to pop up another 2 goals just before half-time, so they might be going into this half a little bit more confidently. But I think the biggest thing for Leeds Beckett will be keeping their heads. Definitely.
Yeah.
And how the ref is going to influence this second half as well, that's a mystery to be seen, because there could easily be a red card. I think we're on 4 yellows here. There's 2 for MMU, Sam Edwards and Chingwei, and there's 2 for Leeds. I know that Nunes, number 5, has one. I can't remember who the other player for Leeds that has one is. But I mean, if we've managed to see a red card, that would be quite incredible, to be honest. And I think the second half's just about to kick off here.
But
Leeds back with the ball.
honestly, a red card, I do think it's coming.
it could easily. If Leeds haven't composed themselves and calmed down a little bit after that first half, they could easily have a red in the first 5 minutes of this half. To be honest, they've been getting really agitated. I mean, they could get an unlucky one, for talking back to the ref. To be honest, that wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, they've got
I think that's what one of them
yeah.
was. It 2 or 1? Yeah, from just talking back to the ref. Which is, I understand why, 'cause, the ref's got to keep control of the game, but it's a little bit harsh, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah, the fact that we haven't seen any yellows in any of the previous games and 2 have been given out for talking back to him, I just think maybe he's having a bad day.
I mean, he's made a lot of decisions in this first half, definitely, and maybe that's why he's giving out the yellows. He's going to stop questioning every decision I made. Maybe it just got to a point where it had been so many of them that he thought, no, you've got to have some punishment for this now. Ooh, he's going for a long shot there that he just blasted into Nunes, and I think he'll tell you that was an attempted pass. I think it looked like he was trying to line up a little finesse shot.
He was begging for that ball the entire time there. As soon as he got it, he thought there's no way he's going for a pass.
Leeds Beckett looking alright here. They're actually holding the ball a lot better than they did in the first half. But can Kieran Williams punish them? Oof. Tried like a little outside the foot shot, unexpected there, knock a ball, and not quite this time. Keep trying though, lad.
Oh, if you do notice as well, Leeds Beckett have actually switched up their goalkeeper. They've brought in their substitute goalkeeper for this half. I think that's because it just clearly isn't working. If they're conceding 10 goals in the first half, where the previous few games at MMU, which we thought were dominant, ended 12.
Yeah,
ended 11. So
yeah, the highest total goals we've seen so far has been 17, and they need 3 more for that. Ooh, that was quite a big challenge there.
Yeah, you can understand the yellow coming out for that one.
And there we go, the 5th yellow of the game. Sam Cook,
that one, yeah,
gets in the book as well.
But you can see where the referee's coming from. That
that was.
You don't really see slide tackles in futsal, and when you do, it's always going to be the risk of a foul.
But it's funny because the 2 Leeds ones, have been for bad mouthing, and I think Sam Edwards and Sam Cook, the 2 Sams, have both got it for crunching tackles. Don't mind that though, getting stuck in makes it entertaining for sure.
And it definitely can affect the other team's mentals.
Yeah, that's definitely giving it against you, Kieran. There, it's unfortunate. You see that 2-man press though there from MMU. They were right on top of them, and it's actually quite unlucky that it's hit his hand there, because they were doing really well to close him down.
Yeah, well, I mean, this half starting quite similar to the first half, where it seems quite equal. But I think the next 5 minutes we'll definitely see who can take control of this half. And if it is Leeds, we're in for a good game. We're in for a really thrilling game. But
I mean, they've looked the better team so far in the second half. They've definitely had more of the ball and in better places. But
we also did say that in the first half.
True. And the question is, can you actually score from having the ball in good places as well? Because that's the thing. MMU do score when they're in good places. They are incredibly consistent with scoring a lot of goals when they're in good positions, and that is something we've also seen from the teams that have played against them, is that they've maybe not taken those one-on-one chances or 2v1 chances that MMU do take, and it costs them over the entirety of the game.
I mean, whatever the Leeds managers and coaches have said to the players at half-time, it seems to have worked. Because the bench seems a lot more calm, the players seem a lot more calm, and the change that they've made in goal, surely it should be affecting the team now.
Well, yeah, I guess just a message of calm down and keep the ball, try and play maybe a little bit more simply is.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference. And yeah, definitely them last 7 or 8 minutes that first half, Leeds Beckett had lost their heads. But then and maybe those 2 goals as well, to be honest. They did score the last 2 goals at a half, and that will instill some confidence in you, make you feel a bit better. James Kay still seems pretty confident in goal for MMU though. There's Ollie Baker on there. And here's another one. There's Ollie Baker. Ooh. What's happening there?
So he did score from that, and the referee is not giving the foul. MMU players are protesting heavily on that.
How would I wasn't even sure the camera didn't quite catch up to where that was, but I mean, Leeds Beckett now not looking nearly as bad as they were. 10-5. It seems weird that they're getting back into it.
Oh, it's just off the post. I think Nunes has done that twice now.
Maybe not even 3 times, maybe.
Yeah.
Smacking the frame. Darwin.
Trick of Woodward's.
Sign him for Liverpool. But yeah, I mean, Leeds Beckett looking a lot better, Ruin. I mean, you're not quite looking themselves, to be honest. They, like we said in the first half, they can have slow starts to halves. Yeah. We have seen that from them. And I think maybe if Leeds Beckett can capitalise on that slow start, it would make a big difference for them. Here they go again. Yeah, they have dropped back their defenders. They do have 3 there, and a misplaced pass just gives the ball straight back to MMU as well. I was trying to say before that you'd seen Ollie Baker drop back into defence and was actually the deepest player and made the pass off, and we saw him score 4 goals in the last game. I think he's had one this game as well, that penalty. But this is talk about them and their players do it at both ends and make it really difficult for opposition.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds Beckett here, they've come out of this half looking like a different team, and maybe what they came out in the first half to do was man mark, do stuff to defend against MMU, and maybe they've come out now and
there goes it. MMU with 3 changes.
Sorry, 4.
Wait,
yeah, Villarreal's come on the left-hand side.
Chingwei, Marcus Afua and Jake Barnes and Ollie Baker are swapped over.
The only one that stayed the same is the goalkeeper, which you don't really see change much for MMU.
They do have someone else who does play in goal as well. Sometimes doesn't he late on? But yeah, James Kay is definitely the main man in goal normally.
Yeah. He hasn't done any wrong this game. He's made great saves.
I feel like Chingwei and Marcos Afua are always in the pitch together. I don't know if
must be link-up play.
Yeah, maybe they work together well or something, but they do seem to always be subbed on together.
Yeah, and as soon
Mark's
as they
a big, strong lad as well. You see his size difference compared to most futsal players are quite small.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Froggatt's not particularly large. Kieran Williams is small as well because you need that agility, that nimbleness. But Mark, yeah, he must be at least 6 foot, and he's quite strong compared to him. So I think he can be that kind of force in there to just make it difficult for the other team as well. You know, just chuck his shoulder into people.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when this team's quite rough and quite.
Yeah, they're getting stuck in as well. Yeah, sometimes you just need that combative player to just fight them back a little bit.
Yeah, I think this game is perfect for Marcos Afua.
Not saying that he's still obviously good on the ball. He wouldn't be in the team otherwise, but yeah, he definitely has physical attributes. Yeah, that the rest of the team don't have as much of.
Could call him almost the Haaland of MMU. Goal scorer and big guy.
I mean, not at the moment, but yeah, here come MMU again. We're getting the ball back in their half. Ref's not happy with something. One of the MMU players has gone down.
You see the Leeds players; they have got quite a bit of aggression, and you can just
definitely
see
aggression.
You can see when they kick out the ball in frustration, and they just do things that you just don't expect from them.
Yeah, we've not actually seen we've not seen much of it in futsal. It's such a good form of football to watch. It's so fast paced, and you get all the good stuff. But actually, the aggression, those little arguments, we haven't really seen much of it, and it's quite nice to see 2 teams quite happy to get at each other. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there from Jake Barnes, I think, but James Kay's done well to clean it up.
I mean, we at Matchday Live, this is our first quarter-final that we've broadcast, and it's happened to be futsal, which we've been quite involved with, and we're hoping to do a bit more. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get the final here if MMU do make it, which is looking likely. But the way things are going,
we've got to hope we get the semi-final at least.
Yeah,
that would be good. I mean, if Sam wants to get the keys to his van and we can load all this stuff up, I'll do an away day for it at the final as well if they want us.
That's not Sam Cook or Sam Edwards, unfortunately.
Sam Heitzman, the brains. And I really hope he can hear this feed. So here come MMU, they've got the ball back again, just Chingwei, Jake Barnes there, just holding it. Moving up a little bit more, seeing if that space, and Chingwei and Marcos Afua trying to link up.
I think Chingwei needs to be a bit more patient with his play now that he is on a yellow card. Where normally you would see him diving into tackles and trying to win the ball back straight away if you see he's playing with a bit of distance here.
Yeah, they definitely can't risk it. And considering that Leeds have kind of come back into this game now, even if the scoreline may look like it's still very far apart, it's not out of the realms of possibility they can get back into this now. And yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to risk losing, man.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that I personally love about futsal, where the game can switch so easily. A 5-goal difference really isn't that dramatic, where you really do need to be 10 goals ahead to really put the game to bed. And it was 10-2 at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they got 3 goals back. They got 2 goals before the half-time, came out, scored. If they keep this momentum going, they could make it into a really thrilling match.
I mean, yeah, 5 still seems like a distance, but yeah, if they get 1 or 2 more, 6 or 7, then they're really not far away. And
yeah,
you need to find their shooting boots a little bit in this half. Actually, they haven't really worked into those spaces very well. The Marcos have had a shot there, and they've had a couple of shots here and there, but they've not had any of those like blinding 1-on-1 or 2v1 chances they were getting in the first half. So clearly the Leeds half-time talk has worked very well so far.
Yeah, well, the experience from the first team manager coming through and helping out with the second team's performance today, I think that's helped a lot. Because maybe Leeds, they do take over games and they do take control, but I think at half-time when you're losing a game like this, it's really easy to lose your mental. And we did see that a little bit, but they managed to regain it, and now it seems like they're in control and they can take their time.
Yeah, they had definitely lost their heads at one point in that first half when they just started conceding so many goals. But now they're looking a million times better.
Yeah.
And they're really sticking it to MMU and giving them the game that we expected to see beforehand, really. This has been way more even, way more contested, tougher, the harder chances to finish off. And this is kind of what we were hoping for in the first place. So we'll see how this second half pans out for MMU, because they are in a little bit of danger right now. But I think as soon as if they get that next goal, then they'll be pretty confident. But they don't want to risk conceding 1 or 2 more without a response.
No, yeah, we don't really see this a lot from MMU, where they concede 3 in a row and don't answer back.
And they're struggling to get out right now as well. I mean, I'm going to say that and they're going to score. Ooh, not quite, but very close. Chingwei as well, getting across the word. I mean, I'm assuming that's MMU's, because, thought it'd come off the keeper. But yeah, MMU have actually been struggling to get back at them. This is not what you're used to seeing from them. They're usually so creative in the attacking sense. But yeah, Leeds Beckett have come out in their second half looking much, much better.
Yeah, it is a bit weird seeing MMU like this, where in the first half they're so dominant and in the second they just come out a bit lackluster.
Yeah, maybe the first couple minutes you understand, but we're now 7 minutes into this half and MMU definitely don't look like themselves.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes plus, because this entire game is actually on a stop clock, where if the ball's out of play, the timer doesn't carry on going. And sometimes in futsal that is only the last 5 minutes or last 3 minutes, I believe, and now this game it's the entire game. So this game definitely lasts longer than just the 40 minutes that's advertised.
Yeah, there's a lot of misplaced passes now, which is a big one for MMU as well. I mean, especially in that first half, some of their passes were, laser point accurate. In this half, they're shooting them too powerful or too far away from their teammate.
We see there Marcos Fufu using his build again, like we were speaking about before, just to shield off the Leeds team from
trying
the
to hold
ball.
on to that ball, and they put a 3-man on him, to be fair, to rob the ball off him. And they're still doing well to hold on to the ball. They're not doing anything too risky.
Yeah, they're not making any rash mistakes or rushing into things that they wouldn't normally do. They just can't seem to get ahead. But I mean, if you're the manager right now, you're saying to them, just carry on like this. You've got 5 goals.
Yeah, you're not going to be too worried or telling them to go all out defensive quite yet. Definitely not. They are obviously a dominant side because of the scoreline, and Leeds have not been as clinical as they need to be at the moment to keep up with them. But you don't want to risk that going on for the whole second half. If they concede a few goals in the next few minutes, and then it comes to the last 5 minutes, and they only need 2, Leeds will throw everything in the kitchen sink at them. So they definitely don't want to risk being too defensive or letting Leeds control this half too much.
Yeah, another yellow card there. That is for number 9, Jake Field, I believe, for Leeds, and the yellow cards are just coming out. But honestly, I don't blame them, because that tackle there really put Villarreal down, and it pushed him down to the floor straight away. It's quite a rash tackle that he didn't really need to make in hindsight, where I think Leeds, they're just going for they're going to get goals back. And they don't want to get the distance between them, the deficit of 5 goals. They don't want to make it 6. So carrying on like this, you don't want to make any more rash tackles, because if we do notice with the MMU team, they do change up their full 5. Always changing. Leeds, I've noticed they just aren't doing that. Even though they do have a lot of players on the bench, they're just not making 5 changes at once.
I think MMU have had one of their little swap runs, haven't they? Because there's Sam Edwards back on the field. And I think Jamie Villarreal is back on as well. I thought I'd just seen number 22 there for a second. Yeah, because Marcos Afur, yeah, there's Jamie Villarreal there. Now there's been a few changes. Harvey Forster there. Sam Edwards, who is on a yellow, I think, and needs to be careful. Jamie Villarreal, who's just tried to put the ball upfield there. Jake Barnes at the moment. Going you. Well, the new coach is showing a little bit of frustration there that he's not had the call his way. I've not seen much of that from him, really.
No, he seems to be quite calm-headed and doesn't really lash out at anyone. But
to be fair, we've never really seen him in a position to get frustrated, you know. Oh, here comes Jake Barnes. It's just too easy for him.
He just is so impressive on the ball.
Yeah, really good on the ball. Rolls around the keeper. Yeah, the big thing there is the difficulty of just keeping your head. Yeah. Just the confidence to take that touch and keep control of it, and then, you know, it gets the reward of an easy finish. But that was a lovely goal, and MMU will be very happy with that, you know, to get there. Break the duck a little bit on this half so they know that they've got their goal, and are kind of into an even stronger position than they already were.
Yeah, the 6-goal deficit now that Leeds have to overcome. They thought they were making strides, and it seemed like they were just starting to get ahead, but not anymore.
Well, this is what I was trying to kind of allude to before, is that if MMU are having these bad patches, you need to capitalise on that. You need to get in as many goals as you can. And, you know, they get their 3 goals in a row, and then it slows down, and they're not. Even though they're doing better with the ball, they weren't getting these shots off. And now MMU, you know, we've classically seen from them, when they get a goal, they get 4 more.
Yeah.
Like they will step, as soon as they get that goal, they get a bit of confidence in their legs, and things start to happen a bit more.
Yeah, the pressure will just continue to build, and then eventually it will just be what happened in the first half. Leeds have held on for 10 or more minutes up to now, and unfortunately they couldn't hold on the whole time. They conceded 1, and we'll see how long they can hold on before they just crumble.
I'm sure in either the Sheffield game or the UA92 there's a similar thing, and it might be in the second half, where for 10 minutes the other team looked like the better team, and you just think if you manage to hold up that level of performance for the whole 40 minutes of the game, the scoreline would be tighter. But
yeah,
MMU managed to ride the storm of the other team's good form, and then when they're in good form, MMU just score goals for fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was UA92 that, where it was a team so much lower than them in the leagues, and they just seemed like the better team for a while. But
yeah, and it was just out of nowhere as well. When they're a few goals down, all of a sudden for 5-10 minutes they seem like the better team. And I guess that's the beauty of football, futsal.
It is really confusing, as that these two teams are going to play each other next week, because they are in a similar league. Well, not similarly, they're in the same league, and that should.
Ooh, number 9 there gets the goal.
Yeah, I think that came a little deflection off Scott Froggatt there. Just made it a bit unfortunate for the goalkeeper.
Jake Field gets the goal, but yeah, Scott Froggatt will not be happy that he's kind of made that more difficult for the keeper.
Yeah, I don't think it changed the direction of the ball, so it won't count as an own goal. But
I think it's what stopped the keeper from saving it, because it kind of made it have a little loop over, didn't it?
Yeah, it's always the deflection off the defender that can make it so much tough, so much harder than it should be.
So I don't think it's got all of their goal scorers actually logged on there.
But I think Jake Field, I think it's 1 or 2, isn't he? I think he might have scored in the first half as well. Maybe not.
Maybe I'm getting confused with Jake Barnes. Too many of the same first name. Sam's and Jake's all over the shop.
Not too many Eds or Benjis though.
No, just the two important ones up here. Oh, and another yellow card given out as well. For Howard there, apparently. I mean, we've not even managed to clock that one down up here, but whoever's on the sideline knows that they're watching more intently than we are. But that's 4 yellow cards for Leeds and 3 for MMU. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't expect this coming into the game, where I didn't really expect any of this.
No.
I didn't expect the yellow cards, I didn't expect it to be so rough, I didn't expect it to be so distant in the first half, and it's been a good surprise to watch it from the commentary box.
Oh, yes. It's probably been one of the most entertaining games we've done commentary for, even the other sports, because it has been, so much of everything. Fouls, controversial goals, yellow cards, big tackles.
Even
some nice stuff as well,
Even a bit of nitty-gritty at half-time where players were looking a bit tense.
Yeah, getting in the face of the ref. A few big decisions from the ref as well. Some that I'd still need to watch the replays to understand fully.
I believe it is the same ref as well from the other games. I do remember his face, yeah. I do believe it is the same ref from the last. I know it was the same ref from the UA92 game, but I'm not sure about the Sheffield game, so maybe he's a bit biased.
Maybe. He's got a bet on MMU to get to the final.
Call him Ivan Toney.
Allegedly.
Here's MMU on the attack now. They're just restarting again from the goalkeeper. It is good that MMU's goalkeeper is so confident with his feet, because a lot of goalkeepers, especially in futsal, they need to be confident with their feet.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many other keepers be so good at making saves, but not as competent on the ball as James Cares, and it does add another dynamic to the way that MMU can play, whether he's playing rush keeper or even just, playing around, passing it around or whatever from the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, James K is definitely a good platform that MMU build off of from the back always. Leeds with a little free kick just inside the MMU half. Scott Frogger getting the stop on it though.
As Leeds trying to kind of create something here. They've only got 8 minutes left, so hopefully they can try and get back into this game. And I think the best way to do that is to get Nunes involved, but he's taking a seat on the bench.
Yeah, he did seem like one of their most dangerous attackers, didn't he? He was getting more involved than a lot of their other players. I think he's had probably the most shots on their team as well.
Yeah, he hit the woodwork a few times as well. And
probably is that kind of high intensity, high energy play. It's sapping, isn't it, on the energy? So maybe that's why he's not being playing for a bit longer.
I mean, we hope to see him come back onto the court maybe 5 minutes to go. Because if you see him 5 minutes to go, that's enough time. If they can get a few goals back before he comes on, let him be the danger man.
Well robbed there by number 30. He's pretty tall as well, to be fair. Not quite as muscular as Marcos Afir, but he's a pretty tall lad, that number 13 Hood. Got a couple of goals. I think he's kind of their main man as well, Leeds Beckett. I think he's also down there, not happy with something.
Yeah, he looks quite in pain there, but
our pitch side cameraman getting right stuck in as well there. Just zoom in on his unhappy face.
You can also see the MMU expressions where they're laughing a little bit at it.
Yeah, still a lot of discussion going on with the ref, and someone's called a timeout there.
Timeout.
I think it was MMU.
Yeah,
I mean, coach that has got his board there, and he looks like he's trying to get a message across.
Yeah, just under 8 minutes to go. What do you think that he could be telling his players right now?
I don't know. He's obviously saying something different. I don't think he'll be going defensive. From what we've seen of them and what we know they can do. I don't think he'd be saying go defensive, but maybe he's seen something in the Leeds Beckett team. Maybe Leeds Beckett have changed their game plan, and he's now picked up what it is that they're doing that's made him so much more effective in this second half. So maybe he's now got a little trick up his sleeve that he's going to try and counteract their changes with. I mean, the Leeds Beckett, I think he's that first team coach is the tall guy there speaking to him a little bit more intensely. Maybe he's coming in with a little bit of knowledge as well to try and boost what they're doing out there. He doesn't seem massively happy with how the game's been going so far.
Yeah, well, we don't know the Leeds team as well as we know the MMU team, but what we can say from the MMU team is we know that they're not the type to just sit back and defend, or they're not the type to just focus all on defending the ball and keeping the lead. They want to keep scoring goals. They want to have fun. They want to enjoy themselves, and I think that's what we'll see. We'll just keep seeing. Maybe he did see something. Maybe he did see an opening in the team that he can explore and exploit.
Had James Kay out wide there as a fly keeper, but didn't use him. Attempted the long ball. I mean, maybe that's what he's told them. Try the long ball. People are sitting in space. Is that Ollie Baker or Jake Barnes there? Just a few ball rolls. I mean, it's difficult to tell when they have. They're both quite similar. They're really good on the ball and they're quite good at shooting. It is Ollie Baker back on. The ginger lads, good lads. Carrying the MMU team always. Well blocked out there. Oh yeah, Harvey Forster.
There's been a lot more stoppages this half than the first half. I think in the first half it was kind of more free flowing. The ball didn't really go out of play. There was just a lot of fouls. Whereas this half the ball is constantly going out of play, and
it's strange. But I think a lot of the passing's actually kind of degraded through the game. I mean, Leeds. Ooh, header attempted. Well saved. Leeds had patches where their passing wasn't great in the first half, but MMU's was like laser accurate. It was so pinpoint, some of their passes, and even in tight spaces. But this half it's definitely not been as good from MMU on the ball. And I think that's what's causing so many more stoppages, because they're actually rolling the ball out as well with dodgy passes.
Well, I think the fitness is something to always keep in mind, where even if you do have this many players on the bench, they don't have unlimited stamina, and passes will, of course, they'll go down in quality, but it is becoming quite sloppy recently in the last few minutes.
Yes, it's just sloppier than you expect from even both teams. Because you know what we see.
Sam Cook, I believe that was.
Yeah, just tried a little rolling shot then, just went wide of post. I think maybe the keeper actually saved it. In all fairness,
if he did that, yeah, he did. That's a great save then.
Yeah, fair play. I thought that was just shot. And then he's
right
flown one over the bar. Yeah. The Leeds Beckett coach wants to be in the team.
Perfect pinpoint accuracy passing.
Put a bit more power in the top corner. Get him on the scene.
Kieran Williams now trying to
press from the front. Really getting stuck. How many of those have you seen? Those heavy 50-50s.
Yeah, the 50-50 challenges where
you love it as a fan. Definitely. It's not fun to be on the receiving end of those, especially if you're going, Scott Rogerson going flying into the door as well.
Yeah, you got to feel for Scott this game. He's really been thrown about and dashed about by these guys. The Leeds team is definitely physically bigger than the MMU team.
They're just getting more physically stuck in than any of the teams that we've seen, definitely.
Yeah.
Although, I assume if the MMU played in that Monday night Manchester Futsal League, I imagine they probably play against some physical guys in there. I remember when I used to play, occasionally 6-a-side or whatever. There's always some 35-year-old who gets way too stuck in, and every tackle on him's a foul, and every tackle he gives is horrific, but never a foul apparently. So I'm sure they're probably used to people getting stuck into them, and also maybe that's why they didn't lose their heads in the first half. They were getting crunched out and taps and kicks and stuff all the time, but kept their heads, kept their composure, and got their goals. Maybe that bit of experience, and again where they're playing we're playing more of the games and playing together more, believing in themselves and as a team more. Maybe that's what helped them there.
Yeah, I mean, as a team that loves to play mind games, when you see that it's not working on the other team, the mind games, the argy-bargy, the anger, the aggression that you can see, when you see it's not getting to the other team, that can annoy you even more.
Yeah.
And that was shown in the first half.
Yeah, they definitely were not happy in the first half, Leeds Beckett. They've been quite good in this second half. I mean, they're winning the second half, what, 2-1 or is it 1-1? No, I think they're winning 2-1 this half, aren't they? Yeah, it was 10-4 at half time.
Yeah, it was 10-4.
Technically, the second half they're actually winning 2-1, and probably fair play. They've probably been the better team in this half as well.
Yeah, they definitely have been the better team this half. But it's just the fact that they couldn't do this in the first half. Whereas I think if they did this in the first half, they would be miles ahead right now.
Well, yeah, it would definitely be a lot tighter, at least. I think it was just that patch, wasn't it, between the... After they got their second goal when it was 3-2, then MMU just went on a crazy one, didn't they? And got up to 10-2 without a response.
Yeah.
Since then, though, they have looked a lot better, Leeds. And it's just unfortunate they couldn't quite pull this like defensive resilience and they kind of press out like this in the first half.
Yeah, well, the last 5 goals in this game have come 4 from Leeds. So you can tell that they've definitely stepped it up a notch, but not enough, unfortunately.
I was taking a shot there from Nunes, but well saved. So Nunes is back on, so
yeah, well, we did
get
get
some
notice
goals.
that.
I was going to say that I had something good to say. I can't remember what it was now.
I'm sure it'll come back to you when...
After the stream's finished, probably, yeah. Try to take a corner there. Oh, that is quite unfortunate there for Leeds Beckett. They've tried to pass it back from a corner. They've actually been robbed. The keeper is out.
He scored from his own half. Jamie Villarreal.
Jamie Villarreal.
He scored from his own half. You never see that in futsal. And when the keeper's out so far, you can tell why. And I guess that's why Leeds don't play fly keeper. Because if it doesn't work perfectly, something like that can happen. Even though they weren't playing it then, just caught out of position.
And here's MMU, you know, the not being the best team in the second half, but now it's 2-2 technically just in this half, and they're still 6 goals ahead. Yeah. Very confident of getting into this next round. What I was going to say was that the manager before the game had been saying that this team, obviously, they are not as acclimatised to each other. They haven't practiced together as much. They're not the finished article. So maybe that's why we're seeing the second half so much better, because now not only have they warmed up to what MMU are trying to do, but they've warmed up to each other and what each of their own players are trying to do as well. So maybe that's what's caused this second half to be such a better performance from them. But I think they've maybe given away a penalty here, which is
a close one as well.
Really not what they needed, though. Is that Barnes? Is it stepping up?
I believe it's Williams.
One of them's definitely going for it.
Well, they've got all of their players. They've got 4 of their players in the wall. I can't imagine this is possible to score, but if he does, it'll be a miracle.
I wouldn't put anything past this team. King Williams does look like he wants it. He's really raring to go. I don't know if he's just going to run at the goal for the rebound, maybe. Oh, laid him off as well, but just shot wide. Unlucky.
Yeah, that did seem near impossible to score, though, when you have a net as small as that, when you've got 4 players stood in front of it.
There's Nunes going for another shot, but well blocked out by Williams. Tried to get a little bit stuck in as well, a little bit of a push. Ref doesn't mind it, though. It's just a kick in from MMU instead.
Yeah, seeing a bit more good with sportsmanship there, helping him up, rather than a bit more unsportsmanlike conduct, which we saw in the first half.
It's funny that even though he's still managed to give out 2 or 3 yellows this half, I think the ref has been getting involved less and kind of letting the game flow a little bit more, which has maybe also helped the Leeds Beckett players keep their heads, because that was definitely something they got really frustrated with in the first half for some of the decisions the ref was making. Jake Barnes didn't look happy, and I think he was saying that he definitely got the ball. Ref didn't see it that way, though.
Well, could you see them taking a shot on from here? I'm not sure.
You know, I wouldn't want to put anything past a futsal team, but I'd assume that they're going to look to pass it out to Nunes out here, and I'm surprised that Kieran Linson hasn't picked him up straight away. Maybe that's exactly why. Make them think they'd get away with the pass. Jamie Villarreal there just runs it up, gets a kick in for MMU. Ooh. Jamie Villarreal there tries to lay off Sam Cook, I believe. Not getting my Sam's mixed up. Yeah, Sam Cook, and he just fires it over the bar. Oh, and what we didn't even notice happen as that MMU 12th goal went in. This is now our record goals for a stream. We're on 18 goals in total.
It is. Yeah, the last game was 12-5. Sorry, the first game.
12-5.
12-5 was our record, and now it's 12-6. And the game's still got 4 or more minutes to go.
Yeah, let's get to a nice round 20, boys. Come on. Make sure if you're watching at home, give it a like for 18 goals.
Oof, that's a great save. You did think Kieran Williams would convert that, but I think coming into the second half, the change in the goalkeeper has actually been very important. He's only let in 2 goals, and one of them was a misposition.
True.
So I think if you're the other goalkeeper, you wouldn't put all the blame on yourself.
Oh, really unlucky not to get a goal there, actually. I think that was Hood. I think that could have been on for his hat-trick as well. Really unfortunate not to score there off the bar. And I wouldn't want to say that about the Leeds Beckett goalkeeper. I think that I don't know if he would have made any difference when so many of the goals in that first half from MU were like close by tap-ins or really perfectly placed.
Perfect team play.
And I think MMU just in the second half just haven't had nearly as many chances or shots as they had created in the first half, and I think that's probably the biggest difference in why there hasn't been so many goals. I mean, Leeds have just been infinitely better than they were in the first half, I think, this half. I mean, Leeds as well probably be feeling a lot more confident going into that. Weirdly, even though MMU have probably won this game, Leeds might be more confident going into that league game because they've finished a bit stronger. And that maybe Leeds be thinking that they have worked out MMU a little bit. And they've got a nice goal there as well with Nunes.
I do think now it's a bit too late for a comeback. Unfortunately, they are still 5 goals behind, and there's about, I'd say, 5 minutes in total left. I mean,
with the stoppages could easily be 5, couldn't it?
It's not impossible. But
it's hopeful.
It is really, really tough, especially against a team like MMU where you can't just give up goals like that in such a short period of time. Oof. Goalkeeper was nearly caught in possession there. He's went down claiming a foul, but refs having none of it. MMU looking to just, I'd say, keep composure and keep calm. We've got Jake Barnes on the field now, so he can take his time and control the game like he always does.
Just getting the ball repositioned there. Getting the keeper involved
they've
now.
Got fly keeper, and we did speak to the manager before the game, and he told us it's when it's only necessary they'll play. And
yeah, it's
it
definitely
seems
necessary
like
right now.
because whether or it's tough or not.
Oh, here comes the ref.
Yeah.
To make another big call that the Leeds Beckett players are not happy with. And James Kay's gone running over as well to the Leeds Beckett man who was complaining the most, saying it's for multiple offences apparently. He seems quite confident in it. The Leeds Beckett player wasn't impressed at first.
Yeah, I think the Leeds manager there, he's signalled for VAR. He's put his hands up for the VOD.
If they want to come up to the studio and watch the slow replays, they can do that, but they'll have to be after the game, unfortunately. See, there are 8 free kicks conceded by Leeds. MMU 5 as well. It's a lot of free kicks for a game of futsal. It's not nearly as common in futsal as it is in a normal full-size football game.
Yeah, the referee's definitely getting involved a lot more in this game than he normally would, and you can kind of understand why, because
there's definitely been more to get involved with, for sure. There's been some meaty tackles.
It's also the heightenedness of it being a quarter-final.
Mm.
It's not just a normal knockout game. You're quite far into the tournament here. Both of the teams, they've played a few games to get this far, and for it all to crumble in a defeat like this, for Leeds, it will be a bit tough for them to stomach. But the game did not finish as as dominant as the first half did, which is...
There's definitely things for Leeds to take away. This second half performance has been much better. 3-2, they win in the second half. But not just the scoreline, but their performance from top to bottom has been so much better in this second half. They've definitely got things they can build on, and they've got things that they can aim to recreate in that game against MMU in the league. And I think it's next Sunday, in fact, or it might be the Sunday after. They can definitely take confidence from it, but the result... that could be a red for Chingwei. I mean, he's already on the yellow.
Yeah, and the referee's not being stingy with his cards this game.
No,
he's
not at
definitely
all.
Giving them out. No, I think he's staying in his pocket for now. But
I'm surprised that the Leeds players haven't kicked up a bit more of a fuss about that. To be honest, they were not happy with a few decisions he's making early doors, and I thought they would have probably jumped on that chance for him to get a red. But yeah, you know, for Leeds, if they then end up beating them MMU in the league, it might almost be even more frustrating because you go in.
yeah,
The league is good, you know, and of course you want to get promoted up to the tier 1, but winning a cup competition, you know, there's just something about it, isn't there?
When you lose in the league, you can get the points back. When you lose in a cup, you can't.
Yeah, there's no coming
You're
back
out.
then. James Cade, there was almost a quadruple save, I think, with a couple headers and all sorts. He'll be very happy to get his hands on the ball there down on the ground.
Yeah, the goalkeeper for MMU, James Kay, he's been so impressive every time we've seen him here at Matchday Live.
23 shots on target for MMU, which I think is now it's actually their lowest count of shots on target in a game, which just shows that Leeds have been their best opponent so far, for sure. I mean, it's the most they've conceded in a game,
But
I think, all season as well.
Tied the most that they've scored. So they've been more clinical with their shots, but they've also been more unlucky, I guess.
Well, I think what happened is that period in that first half when Leeds lost their head, MU were finding the place when they like that Marcos Ofua goal, where he's just standing at the back post on his own. There was a few like that where, you know, the players just in such an easy position where Leeds weren't at 100% at their game. But yeah, this is drawn with the most they've scored this season, but it is the most they've conceded as well, MMU. So something, even when they lost, they didn't concede as many goals. Well, you can just see our assistant producer Vince there down the sideline, probably trying to work out how to get the YouTube stream up on his phone. I've only shown him a few times. He's trying little bits. Marcos Ofua picks it up. You probably want to get yourself another goal before the end of the time if you can.
Oh, he's
Almost
just
as well.
behind him. Just
Yeah, it's
behind
unlucky.
him. The pass just isn't good enough.
Chingwei couldn't quite pick it up either at the back post and make something happen of it.
Got Chingwei here to take the kick in for MMU.
Back to Marcos Ofua. Back to the keeper, James Kay. Jake Barnes there supporting him as well. Nice drop of the shoulder.
Yeah, referee, you could tell he was pulling on him and pulling him
Yeah,
back.
and I think he stuck a little foot in there at one point as well. I mean, it's another show of how good Jake Barnes is in the ball. He didn't even go down there, and I think there was a foot in between his legs at one point. He's just real agile and really good on the ball, makes it really difficult. I think that's Sam Cook coming back on maybe just to shore it up a little bit just for this last, 17 seconds. I don't know how much shooting he needs, or he's just come on for the 10-metre penalty.
Yeah, I think Marcos Ofua just gave it to him, actually. Tapped him on the back and said, here you go. Go for your hat trick.
Is it for that trick?
I'm not sure.
I think it's just for a second.
Well, he'll take his brace. There's 17 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I think this is just for his second. Mr. Sam
Here's
Cook.
a big run up.
Oof. I mean, we need the VAR for a check on that one, like we did in that first game. It's really hard to tell if that went in.
Love to see a bit of
We're watching a replay of that
speed.
after this game for sure.
I'd love to see a speed counter on that as well. The amount of power that he got behind that shot was impressive.
It was not bad at all. I think that's actually maybe why they got him to come on to take that penalty, because he scored one of the long penalties before.
Yeah.
Or he scored from a decent distance. I remember it was definitely not close in his first goal. And there is the buzzer. So
there's
that
the
is
final whistle.
full time. Manchester University 12, Leeds Beckett 7. MMU will be progressing now into the semi-final. They'll be very happy with themselves. Interesting game, a few controversial calls maybe. Benji, what was your final take on that?
Well, coming into the game, we knew that it wouldn't be as one-sided. as the first games, but then when the first half started, it seemed even. As it progressed, it got just more and more popular.
Yeah,
Yeah, the stats on your screen now are showing just in the second half.
Same shots each, and way more
very
on target
even.
for Leeds. Yeah, really good game in the end. I mean, hopefully we'll get the hopefully we'll get the semi-final here at Platt Lane if we can, and we'll try and bring that one to you possibly. But I think that is us now for today.
Yeah.
We're back on Wednesday, coming up 25th with Rugby Union, MMU taking on Bishop Burton. And then after that we've got women's football with MMU taking on Edge Hill. That has been everything for me. I'm Ed Tucker and my co-host Benji Glab.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure to be back for the good year. First broadcast of 2023.
Many
Many
first
more
of
to
many. Make sure to subscribe to MMU Sport on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. I think it's at MCR Matchday Live, but I'm not even 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Perfect.
Time us off.